Welcome, seekers of purpose, to a journey that transcends the ordinary, a voyage into the heart of living a purposeful life. In a world bustling with distractions and uncertainties, finding meaning can be a profound quest. Today, we embark on a transformative exploration, unlocking the secrets to a life rich in purpose and fulfillment. As we navigate through the tapestry of existence, this video will be your compass, guiding you towards a deeper understanding of what it truly means to live with intention. Join us as we unravel the threads of purpose, weaving a narrative that transcends the mundane and inspires a life filled with significance. Are you ready to embark on this enlightening journey? Let the journey begin with today's PMA live webinar, How to Live a Purposeful Life. We all have a choice in life. Every day when we get up in the morning, we all have a choice that we listen to our true self or we listen to our ego. If you listen to your ego, you always end up having difficulties, hardships, and the day really looks very tough for you. But have you ever wondered that if you listen to your true self, you really do those things which really are really meaningful for you? So today, my friend, we are actually here to discuss a wonderful topic, how to live a purposeful life. We'll really understand that how to rediscover our true self and how to hear the true calling of ourselves. Most of the time when we are discussing about this topic, we always tend to get very much excited and we always want to understand that what exactly is the purpose of life. But sometimes we are a little bit diverted because we end up thinking our fulfillment. But those fulfillment are not always the short-term fulfillment or the materialistic fulfillment which we might think of. Because you should always face three questions when you are trying to understand the purpose of your life. Probably we will asking ourselves that who am I? Where do I belong to? And what I should be doing by this time? Really, I think these three questions are going to give you an enlightenment. And then only you can understand that what exactly should be a purpose of a human life. So all these things we are going to discuss today in our topic. We have invited some wonderful personalities who are really successful in their field and they have been really their life as an example. They are some extraordinary people who would be sharing their experiences and their understanding of this wonderful topic, how to live a purposeful life. So without wasting much time, we'll be going into the topic and I'm sure you would be really getting enriched by their wonderful experiences and their insights. And I'm sure we would be enjoying this session and we'll make a pledge. We'll definitely going to follow all those insights and the information which will be discussed in this topic today. So let's join in the topic.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. We have most of our audience and some of them would be joining very soon. So let's start. Let's begin today's session and greetings to all. Today we have got an interesting topic. For those who are joining this webinar for the first time, I just want to give you a background of our agenda, why we exactly do this Saturday webinar. We started a few years before during the COVID time when exactly the mankind was going through a crisis and we really were desperate to find a ray of hope, and everywhere we are looking for some or other solutions when we are just trying to find that how exactly we can sustain, how we can survive. And that is when I thought about why not start a movement through which we can reach out to people, give them a word of assurance, give them a level of confidence which can not maybe make a lot of difference, but at least can give them some kind of opportunity to listen and to hang on. Because that was the time when people were really isolated and we were really finding it difficult. And reaching out to someone was always a desperate urge for everyone. So that started a movement which called as positive mental attitude, because however, that time people when hear the word positive were very much afraid. But then again, we were trying to be positively charged at the same time to pass on the message to make people feel that they're assured, they're cared, and they're being taken care. So I'm sure like this is how the movement started. And gradually we started connecting with more and more people. Fortunately, with the grace of God, we have got 1,000 plus people now with us today. And across the globe, these people are supporting us to pass on this word of motivation, help people live with a purpose. And that is our single most motto, to pass on the positivity within us, and also to share the wavelength with like-minded people like you, who can always be with the process of being positive and transforming the life into more meaningful ways, how it can be. In fact, that is why we have chosen our topic today: how to live a purposeful life. This is in fact a very attractive topic for all, but then when we try to explore it further, we find sometimes a lot of vagueness in this topic. The topic is very precise, but then when we try to explore, we find that the topic is really sometime around one square. We started from where when we ended where exactly we have started. So let us try to explore this topic today. In Japanese, we have a word called ikagi, which basically means the purpose of life. So do we know the ikagi which of our life? If we really know, what is it? And why exactly we are living this life? Many a times we have been feeded with the so-called ideas of our family or community and our surroundings, and we have been meant to believe that this is the purpose of our life. Some people believe that I should reach certain social status in my life. Some people believe that I should amass so much of wealth, this much of bank balance. But what exactly we really mean by purpose? Is it just like fulfillment of our personal ambition, or living the life for a cause which is even not known to us? So I think we would be trying to explore all these questions today. Maybe we would try to challenge our ego, and we try to find out that what exactly lies behind our personality. Really, we would be successful to find out in our lifetime, who am I? What is the purpose of my life? Why I have come on this earth? Am I really happy the way I'm living? So I'm sure all these questions definitely come in everybody's mind. But we always try to give excuse that no, this is not the right time to find the purpose. Maybe we have to fulfill certain goals, and maybe after that we can look for our purpose. But the time never comes. And we never know that whether we really live the life in the right direction or not. So today we have got some special guests with us who would be definitely shedding more light into this topic. And I'm sure, like with their experiences, with their professional background, they are so much enriched that they can definitely give some takeaway for our audience, which is going to help us so that we can live a more enlightened and more purposeful life. So I welcome our first speaker today, Madam Aisha Khan. Madam Aisha really is one of the wonderful personalities whom I have met in the recent time. She is the founder of Food ATM in UAE, in Gulf, and she is one of the Indian representatives who basically have done such a wonderful thing, for which my head is held high, and I'm sure all Indians should be feeling proud of her. So Madam Aisha recently also addressing in a TED speech, and I'm so gifted today to have her as one of the unique speaker today, who will be sharing her journey of Food ATM, that how she exactly started her journey. And I'm sure this is a topic which is very close to her heart, as she said already. Welcome,
Yes.
madam.
Thank you so much. That was a very beautiful introduction, and I'm so grateful to you. I
Thank
really
you.
hope I can add some value with what I have
Absolutely.
learned from life.
We look forward to that. We have Mr. Arnab Boral, who is our second speaker of the day. Mr. Arnab is one of my, I should say, my companion, my comrade, who has been always through my journey. We have been knowing each other almost close to 2 decades. He is a gifted speaker. He is an international speaker, motivator, and a storyteller as well. And he always tries to find out some gems of mythology, some kind of stories which can always inspire people. So I'm sure Mr. Arnab also would be sharing his experience of people handling, people managing, and how Mr. Arnab has been helping people to find the purpose for people's life all throughout his journey. So welcome, Mr. Arnab.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Premakur. The only thing I would say is that we'll go forward and talk about it further. But the idea is about finding the purpose in life is extremely an important perspective. So let's go forward and we'll talk about it in detail. Thank you.
Yeah. And we have our third speaker, Mr. Basu. Mr. Sanjit Basu is also one of my comrades. In the same breath, I should introduce him. He has been also known to me close to 2 decades now. And we have been sharing a lot of success journey together. He is an active member of PMA as well. So Mr. Basu is an entrepreneur, he's a teacher, he is an innovator in his own way. He has founded an international society for speaking. And I'm really gifted to have Mr. Basu with us today. And I'm sure Mr. Basu is going to share a lot of information about this topic today.
Okay, thank you so much for your kind words. And I'm really grateful to you that you gave us this platform to share our experience, share our vision. So,
Right.
Okay.
So I request all our audiences who have joined us today from different parts of the country, different parts of the world to stay tuned. And I'm sure this recording is going to be there in my YouTube channel, which will be also accessible to the people even after this session. So without wasting much time, I will quickly go to the speaker, Madam Aisha. I would request you if you can start with your thought about this topic and how do you think that living purposefully can really help us to get a positive direction in our life. What are your thoughts about living purposeful?
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, the very word purpose has become synonymous to life itself for me. And there is no, for me, there is no life beyond the purpose. That is how it has now grown to be and matured into. To begin my journey, I and to introduce the work that I do is absolutely about providing food security to the lower income community. When I came to UAE, like each of us, find all these very much being there in all parts of our lives, like whether it's the roadside, the garden, the facility management, everywhere we find the work. And we somehow very conveniently ignore them. We all have done that. Even I have done that. But when the cost of living was inflating, and especially during pandemic and even post-pandemic, when even a food for a regular corporate employee or personal this thought of how people who are of lower income could survive, it used to haunt me. It used to haunt me more because I have lived hunger myself. Well, when I was a student, I was doing my engineering in India. We lost our father, and because of that, we had seen very bad, very difficult days, whether to buy books or to buy food. So, hunger is not something new, something that I did not know. I knew it, I had lived it. And in those days, as a very young student, at age 17 onwards, I had decided that when I become someone, I'll give food. So there was a lingering thought in my mind as to the purpose of my life, but I was not strong enough. I was an employee. I had to make some arrangements to get a project in place. I mean, at least of the volume that I'm currently handling, we got the Guinness World Record for feeding more than 50,000 people in less than 8 hours. So it's a very large volume work we are doing now. And for that, I needed to be strong myself. So yes, as I said, that after my education was over, when I got into my professional life, the purpose was always to be able to provide food. And especially, I was very blessed that I could have a career in UAE where my purpose could take the practical implementation form. Very easy, when we have a thought process, we always want to do something about it. But we can conveniently say, I'll do it in my old age when I'll be strong or I'm done with my career aspirations. I can pursue my whatever my heart's wish. But all that, in my case, was not how it happened. I could formulate Food ATM as a company. I could start giving food without being very old. or keeping that as a secondary priority. So that is why I say purpose has become synonymous to my life. I gave up my career as a professional in the government of Dubai, where I worked well. I made some big money, translated all that to the food ATM project, where currently we have more than 7 operational units, where thousands of meals are made and being fed to the lower income community. From our food security project has come up our another project, which is food ATM consultancy, where we educate around 100 to 150 students from schools and universities about practicing sustainability on our farms in Ras Al Khaimah. So somehow everything, life came full circle. I could make some money. I could fund this project, a project which made no sense to anybody. Where people used to say, when do you give food to this needy? In Ramadan, what do you give? Iftar. And I used to think that I eat 2, 3 times a day. I feel so hungry. What about those who don't even have money and they also feel hungry? What happens to them? How will they survive? Since nobody wanted to do anything about it, I did it. Now we are a big team. Now we are an organization. We are part of United Nations Global Compact New York. I'm on the board of directors of United Nations Global Compact UAE for labor and civil society. So everything has now become very meaningful. The purpose of my life continues to be providing food security against all odds, against all cost inflations, from 50 fils to 3 dirham. And this is the fifth year we have not changed. The quantity, quality, nothing has changed. We have definitely changed some, but every day it's hunger fighting. We are the answer to so many people's quest for food. So I think having a purpose is very important. In my case, yeah, it is synonymous to my life itself. It might not be the case with everyone, but a life without purpose, I really don't know how to even think about it or even define a life which does not have a purpose. We can do things for the lesser privileged, we can do things for our family members, for the human society, but life must have a purpose. We can't live a life without a purpose. At least that's what I think.
Absolutely. And it is spot on for today's session. And I think that could be the best opening speech which our audience could listen to. And I'm really amazed with the way how you have selflessly been into this work when you could have taken up a career in Dubai. And I know that how attractive the life is, but then you have really gone way beyond your scope and you have helped people and you have been with the people who are in need. And when most of the people were just trying to think about themselves, it was a time when you thought about others. So that itself is real message which one should really learn from you. And I'm sure when we are trying to do something for the society, always comes the people, their welfare at the front, and that is what you have done. So once again, a round of applause for you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to add one thing here, especially as a woman. Uh, a woman is a woman herself. She's a wife, she's a mother, and these are the roles all the ladies or the women in our lives play, like me, all the other women. So, for a woman, especially, a man can go out of his comfort zone and decide a career option and can do things which are, to be very honest, sounds weird. The kind of project I was weird. But for a woman, it's all the more difficult because you step out of your comfort zone, you have a set life, you have responsibilities, and you all of a sudden become, my children termed it as adventurous. They said, our friends' mothers never did what you did. So my children even paid the price for that. 1 year they not attended school because we could not pay the fees to set up food ATM. We have lived that difficult times financially. So without the support of my husband, it would not have been feasible. And he stands with me as a co-founder of Food ATM. Not that he was obsessed with the idea or he understood it. He did not. But as I started paving the path further, it became transparent to him what was the entire objective. It was nothing related to us. It was nothing related to our families. But to be very honest, all the blessings that we earn from the project is everything for my family. And
Amazing.
slowly, the family is there with me together, and that has made a huge difference. Otherwise, alone, I could not have pursued this.
That's something really, demands a lot of applause, and I'm sure like people would be learning and would be getting inspired, and the movement which you have started is definitely going to touch many lives, and it has already touched a lot of needy people, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to get inspired from you. So let us take this discussion further. I would go quickly to Mr. Anab. Mr. Anab, what exactly do you think about the relevance of this topic today, that how we should live purposeful life, and how exactly one can really become more purposeful, and what exactly one should understand, that purpose is something is an ambition, or purpose is different from the ambition? How exactly, like we have listened to one of the heartwarming story from Madam Aisha, that how selflessly she gave up her own career and came back to something of a bigger cause. What do you think for people, that ambition and purpose are the same or are they different? How they are aligned or how they are different?
Well, thank you very much, Premankul. The first thing what I would say here is people who are on this call, other than the person speaking, kindly put your microphones on mute. It becomes a little difficult to hear other people when they're speaking. Thank you very much. So going back to the topic, um, purpose. Okay, so every child, once they come out of college or probably in high school, starts dreaming of a future, and that probably at a certain stage of development becomes his aim in life. So what does he want to become, right? And the aim eventually changes as you go further, right? So when you are in school, you want to get join a good college. When you're in college, you want to probably join a suitable or a good branded MBA institution. Once you're almost finishing your MBA, you want to join a large scale organization where you want to either you say, okay, I'll start from the base and move upwards, or you say, okay, I'll start in the middle and go upwards, whatever. And I want to do this. This is who I want to become. Right. So that's like your aim in life, which is fine. But that's not what you want to achieve in your life. So here, let me use my example. If I say, um, I I've always thought. I mean, when I joined and my course after school, when I started doing my degree in computer sciences, you know, Infosys Technologies is a dream organization for anybody in who starts studying in computer sciences. And when I joined Infosys Technologies, I had achieved it. What beyond that? Now, there was a point of time where I felt, well, I quit Infosys and moved back to my hometown. And at a certain point, I was invited to speak at or rather train a group of people in Kolkata, in my hometown. And when I did that, that was the first time. So identifying your calling is not the same as your aim in life. So that's when and it's not that you will identify your calling absolutely at the beginning. It's great that Aisha ji was able to identify. She wanted to do something. She had that, dream. She had that goal, which which came out of that dream, But for me, it was different. I mean, I started training, and that's when I realized this is what I want to do. I want to make a difference in people's lives by, making them better in their careers. I want to make people become better, and that's what I do. And now, when I get into a training session, a coaching session, whatever it is, there are people who actually ask me, Arnab, how is it possible that you have the same energy that you had at 10 in the morning? You have that same energy at 6 in the evening. I said, because I'm passionate about what I'm doing. When you're passionate about something, you don't lose out energy. So that passion is is what you want to achieve in life. It's not the work that you do; it's the happiness that you get out of doing it. Just as Aisha ji gets out of running her food ATM. And I'm absolutely impressed with what you do, Aisha ji. Thank you so much. Back to you, Premanko.
Yeah, thank you, Arnab, for your clear and very honest answer. And I'm also very much agreeing with you that it is not necessary that what should be the call of the purpose, whichever is really close to your heart and something which matches your passion is definitely the purpose which it could be. So I would quickly come to Mr. Sanjit. Mr. Sanjit, don't you think that when we are talking about purpose in life, most of the time people are under the illusion that we are supposed to fulfill our goals in life, and which I was just trying to touch upon when I was asking Mr. Arnab also, that how exactly it is different from ambition. And when you are particularly handling the student group, I'm sure like you are also addressing them, telling them about the goal of life, and when exactly they grow up as a mature person, how exactly the priority changes. And I'm sure purpose is always not the same. So what was your purpose when you were in school is not what exactly is your purpose when you were in university. And when you were in professional, your purpose is altogether different. So how exactly these things are same? And how you really help your students when you are addressing them about this particular topic?
Okay, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. So first of all, I would like to say, goals, ambitions, and purpose of life. These are three different things. Like ambition is something you are asking for yourself. Okay, my ambition to be an IAS officer, or my ambition is to be a software engineer. So this is you are focused to yourself only. You are thinking about your achievement. But when it comes to purpose of life or purpose in life, it is a broader thing. It is a broader perspective. You are also thinking. You are also thinking about your community. You are also thinking about your country or maybe the world. So how you are contributing to the society, that should be your purpose. And oftentimes, our parents are also they are also uh, they don't think about all these things. They only focus in their child, that how my child can grow, or how my child can get a good job, and how my child can settle in their life. But they never teach their child to help somebody. Okay, so now if I give one example, like whenever the child comes to home from school, or from an exam, or maybe after having the score sheet, the parent asks that how much marks you got, or what is the result. But they never ask that did you help somebody in your at your school. So this is what we should teach to our children, like how many uh, students, or how many co-students, or how many classmates did you help today. So if we ask them that how many classmates you help, so they will start thinking. They will start that the children will start thinking, no, I have to help somebody. So helping is very, very important. It is not that how many marks I get, or which subject I'm good at. So these are important, but in my perspective, in my thinking, what I feel is that we should teach our children, our kids, more to help others. And also, purpose of life is that it is a uh, lifelong learning, lifelong growth. Most of us, what happens, once we graduate from the university, we stop learning. We think that okay, learning has nothing to do with the jobs now, so we stop learning. But its purpose of life is very much that how you learn continuously. It is a continuous learning process. So once you learn something, you can go for others. Okay, so this is what I really feel, that purpose of life is that helping others. Now, how many lives you have touched in your life, this is very, very important. And when I feel that when I get the uh, thanks from my students, that I really feel that okay, I have touched somebody's life, who has done something good in their life. And then I feel okay, I am in my life purpose. I am really following my purpose of my life. So as Mr. Arno Boral said, that I am also from a rural background. I'm not from a big city, but I had a dream to do something in my life, but I did not get the opportunity to do all this thing. But I had this in my mind, in my heart. But now I am really, touching the life of so many people. I am helping others to be confident in their life, so that they can do well, they can excel in their life, they can find their life purpose. So this is what I want to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Sanjit. I'm really thankful for your ideas. But I would just take two things from your speech, which you said that helping people, we should try to teach our children, and that is definitely a good thing we should all try to do. But at the same time, when a guardian is trying to say that you should focus on your career or you should try to develop, and that is nowhere wrong. But where exactly it comes is like the humility which we want to grow in our children, or the kind of compassionate feeling which we want to grow in our children. How exactly to blend these things? How exactly to pass on the information that helping is not really bad, but helping is really an important part of your life. But how exactly to strike a balance between your fulfillment and others' fulfillment? So, what comes first? So, with this question, we will go to our next speaker, Mr. Praveen. Mr. Praveen, what do you think? Like you being a growth expert, you are helping so many people to develop their dreams. You are helping the society, you are helping the community, you are helping a lot of entrepreneurs. So, how exactly do you think when you are passing your lectures as a growth expert, what exactly you really want to help? Because, of course, when an entrepreneur grows up, somewhere he or she is helping the community, as Madam Aisha already shared her experiences with us and how she's selflessly driving a bigger campaign. So I just want to know from you as a growth expert that how exactly helping people and being, concentrating about our own development and own achievement. So how these two things go hand in hand? If you can just tell me something on this.
Thank you, Premankur. I apologize for joining a little late. It being a common Bhai Dooj here, so I was at my sister's place and I'm joining from there. Am I audible?
Yes, perfect. You are loud and clear.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would just like to go a little bit back behind about the purpose. I feel the purpose, ambition, goal, it can very well be described by three questions that we can ask ourselves. The purpose behind anything is the why. Why am I doing something? If that why is strong enough, we will automatically know what to do. And if we know what to do, the how will reveal itself. So I believe very strongly that every individual, from the beginning of their career, they should start concentrating on why. Why am I doing something? What is my purpose in life? If we continuously concentrate on why, I'm sure we will more or less come to a conclusion that when your why becomes clear, it automatically, I always believe we are spiritual beings having human experience, it's not the other way around. So when someone seriously dwells on the question of why, you can't have a why which will not encompass your growth, but at the same time, it will definitely have the collective growth also inbuilt into that mission of yours. So I feel this question about how we can align between our own growth and others' growth, how can it go together? I believe if you really ponder on the question of why, I coach, I mentor SMEs and individuals, and I always stress my main question, my main stress is on this: keep find out your why. Most of us get into our careers based on certain decisions that we made when we were 15 years old, when we were 18 years old, maybe under parental pressure, societal pressure. We become an engineer, we become a doctor, not a problem. But I have met so many people, I've met so many mid-career professionals who later on, after about 5 years, 8 years, 10 years of experience, feel there is something missing. See, there is a difference between success and fulfillment. Many people are successful, but they don't feel fulfilled. So unless and until you really ponder on the question of why am I doing something, even though you might be successful, you will not feel fulfillment. You will not feel that fulfilled. And I think all of us at a subtle level, on a very subtle level, we are looking out for fulfillment. We don't even give it a thought. Everything is blanketed by social media, by the society around us. It is so much about success, 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 that somewhere we are forgetting that fulfillment is what makes us complete. I'm honestly telling you, I know so many mid-career professionals from good companies, from the IT engineering background, who are very successful. They are making good money. They are in metro cities. They are in good companies, but they are not. They still feel something is missing. What is that missing? That missing is the fulfillment. And if you ponder and if you
Absolutely.
probe deeper, you realize that if we just had concentrated more on the why am I doing something, what is my purpose in life, what are my passions, if this is my passion, am I aligning my professional life to my passion? If your if of course we all are not all that lucky to have our passions as our professions, or we can monetize or make money out of it, but I am sure if we somehow keep on pondering on this question, we will get the answer to it. We will find our passion which aligns with our profession, and with a very step by step process, we can soon monetize it as well. And as per your question, once you have your own mission and vision, when you answer the question why, you will get your mission, you will get your vision. It will definitely add value to all those around you. It will add value to the society you are in. It will add value to the global to the globe as a whole. I know so many people
Correct.
who are good painters. Maybe somebody is a good singer. Maybe somebody is a good speaker. I will tell you, I'm an engineer. I've been working for the last 26 years in the field of sales and marketing, and I have led teams, 100 crore in revenues, 40, 50 member teams. But over the last 5, 6 years, I really understood that my passion is about helping people achieve or understand their why. And since luckily
Absolutely.
I'm in sales, I'm also in a field where I handle teams, I've been able to align that with my why, my profession, and it has made a hell lot of a difference in the amount of fulfillment I feel. I have always been a successful sales guy. I've worked for about 4 organizations. I've always moved up and up and up in terms of designations, salaries. But I always felt there was something missing. The moment I realized my bigger vision, my bigger purpose in life, by asking the question why, it all fell into place. Today, whether I make money, I don't make money, it's immaterial. My why drives me so much to add value to others, that itself is the payment that I get. That is the fulfillment I feel. So
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I think that's how I look at it, Prem. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It was spot on answer. In fact,
Yeah,
we
can
all really enjoyed. It's a
Primakur,
wonderful,
uh,
wonderful answer. I just want to quickly come back to Mr. Anab. Mr. Anab, of course, we all understand, and we somewhere it resonates with us. We understand that this why factor is really important for us. I'm sure I will come back to the other speakers, but I want to know from you, in a world where we are challenged every time by the social media, in a time when every time we are getting some pop up in our screen which tells us that how we should be living our life, and there are so many so-called spiritual masters, so many teachers, so many influencers. Every time they are telling us that this is how you should really live the life, or this is how exactly should be your orientation of thoughts. So in that, sitting in that time, how difficult or how easy it is for us to keep our self control and also to satisfy our ego or our purpose. So maybe if you can shed some light on this.
okay, a couple of things I would definitely come to that. The first thing is I actually wanted to kind of stop Praveen in between and talk about this. He was specifically talking about me. He was giving the example that he was giving was precisely about me. I have spent, about you know it, Premanku, you know it
Right.
exactly how. I have a degree in computer sciences, and the time when I started doing the degree was the peak time, which was 97, 98, which was the peak time when computers were booming. So I went into it and I was passionate. So when I came out of it, I realized this is not my passion. I don't have the patience to sit and, code. No. So which is why I went into towards sales. However, be it or not, I ended up in the best software organization in the country, Infosys Technologies, in the sales team, and I have an award of excellence from Narayan Murthy. So that again was a strength. That was an aim that I wanted to be in an organization this large, of this size, maybe an Infosys, because I have a degree in computer sciences. Yeah, and I want to achieve that at certain point of time, I want to have a salary of XYZ amount. Great, I've done that. Now what? That's when your true calling comes in. Now, I quit Infosys in 2011 and I started on my path, which, like Praveen said, which is where I realized that the first time I went into a training session and I figured that I did not get tired after a whole day of training. And that's when I figured after I finished my training, there was a bursting of energy inside. That excitement, that satisfaction, that feel that I have made a difference in somebody's life, however small, but I have made a difference, is what impacts you. And that is what you have to identify in life. And that's what you know, it's not your goal in life. It's the direction that you want to head in life. That's where you want to be at a certain point in life. It's not the money that matters. Yes, money will come. Money is important, but that point of time, it is not the money that will matter.
I think that is what Praveen and you are speaking the same thing. The fulfillment of life, or the fulfillment of your existence. So if I really can understand this, that this is a very existential question. It's the existential question for all of us, that what is the true purpose of our life? So how exactly we could align to our purposes when we have so much of distraction? That's my question to you.
So here's the thing. First, let's not even go to the factor, how do I align myself? First thing is, you have to identify the why. You have to identify the what. Like Praveen was saying, identify the why. I am saying don't even identify the why. Firstly, identify the what. For example, Aisha ji has identified the food for people who don't have access to it. That's her what. Why? Because she has faced that pain some point of time and she doesn't want other people to face it. So that's her why. But first identify the what. After that is the why comes in, right? So like Praveen said, absolutely, I absolutely go with Praveen that you have to identify the why. But before the why, you have to identify the what. What exactly is it that excites you? What exactly is it that bums you? That says, Arnab, you have done something for a change. You have given something to the people. Maybe it might not be giving something to the people. It just might be that, oh, you have painted an amazing picture. Looking at this picture, people will feel great. You have taken an amazing photograph. People will feel relaxed when they see it on their phones. Whatever. I'm just saying that calling needs to be identified, not just the why, but the what. Does that make sense?
Okay, Mr. Praveen, you want to come in?
Yeah. So actually, I disagree, but I understand where Arnab is coming from. So what he's saying, the why is supreme. Okay. But when you're discovering how to discover your why now. So what I do with my mentees is that we list out we list down the skills that they have, all the skills. So they will say, I like drawing, I like writing, I like this. So that is the what which Arnab is talking about. Maybe these what's which comprise about coming to your why. When you come to your why, you need to find out how do I realize what is my why. So the why is the intersection of the various skills that you have and the various problems that are there in the world. and how your
Correct.
skills can help
Can
marry or
overlap
overcome
with that. Correct.
those problems. Arnab, I get it.
Agree.
So how you
Absolutely.
can, I mean, if the one metrics you can use is you could list down various skills. These are the skills. I like drawing. I like eating. I like playing with friends. I like talking. I like singing. There could be XYZ skills that you list down. You list down the various
Absolutely.
problems that are there today in the world that you would like to solve. You as a person who you identify with,
Correct.
and then maybe you can grade those skills as per how strong you are. I mean, I literally do this
Correct.
exercise based on
Where
grading the
where do your skills overlap with the problems? Where do your skills overlap with the problems?
problems. So you grade your skills. Ki this is, I'm very good in speaking. I'm not all that great in singing. I'm little bit less great in writing. So you make a hierarchy of skills, and based on that you decide ki if these are the problems. Am I feeling great using this topmost skill of mine to solve this topmost thing, and will I feel fulfilled? And if those two things marry, you have your why. And then when I meant
Absolutely.
what, I meant the ambition or the vision. Ki, I love helping people is my why. Why am I doing something is why I have realized through this matrix. My ambition is to help 1 million people, SMEs and individuals, to grow themselves by 2, 3x. And my mission for that is to go about in a particular monthly, quarterly, yearly fashion. That's how you break down ambition, the why, purpose, ambition, which is
Mhm.
vision, mission, goals, tasks. So it all falls in line, but it starts with your why. Because
Absolutely.
I have not had food. So as he gave example of Aisha, maybe she does not had food, and so but I might not feel passionate about, feeding people. I might feel passionate about making such an impact, making so much of impact in some other way. So knowing your why,
Absolutely.
as Arnab
That
rightly
is
said,
that's the biggest story. I like I said, it was just an example. I used Aisha's situation, but that could be anywhere.
absolutely. So the what is the what questions you can ask to arrive for a very solid why. Once you
Correct.
have that,
Correct.
then you address the next bigger what, which is your mission. Then you ask your third.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm seeking. If you know your why, then you will naturally know what you need to do. If my why is I want to help people overcome their shortcomings and make an impact on their lives, naturally my what is going to be in what way can I help them? So I have these skills, I can help them in this fashion. Fine. And then how am I going to do it? Maybe I'm going to coach, maybe I'm going to speak, maybe I'm going to mentor, maybe I'm going to help them in this way, that way. So, it becomes crystal clear if you have your why
Correct.
perfectly set. So that's from me.
All right. I just would quickly come back to Sanjit. Sanjit, like you wanted to say something, and maybe just after that, I would also come with my question because both the speakers have not answered that question. That how exactly one can really manage to remain focused on purpose when there are so many distractions in the social media. First, I would listen to you, and then after that, I would request if you can come on that.
Sorry. Yeah, one thing, I would like to say, as I have been, listening to and watching all this esteemed speaker, that what and why, this is the controversial thing, and this is the dispute is all about. And what I feel is that the thing which makes your heart sing, what makes your heart sing, and what activities uh, makes your time, or you forget your time. So which activities makes your time, you forget the time. So I think, I hope that I could say it in a proper way. So the thing is that whatever you do, which you when you feel good about that, so this is your purpose of your life.
Mhm.
And what you are doing, and if that things makes lose of the track of your time, that means you are very interested in that. Like suppose we have been doing this event. Sometime our time flies away. It is 1 hour
Right.
activity. It becomes 1 hour 15 minutes, 1 hour 20 minutes. That means we are very much passionate about it. That's why we never think about the time, and
Right.
we are also joining it because it really makes our heart sing. So
That's
you can
exactly the
say,
point, Sanjay. That is exactly the point, Sanjay. So here's the thing. I mean, I'm saying that what you're saying is absolutely right. My point is, a person when born does not realize that this is my passion. He does not realize it when he finishes his education. He gets into his workplace. I got into my workplace. I didn't even know at that, 10 years, 11 years down the line, I'll become a trainer and coach. And 20 years down the line, I would be so satisfied that I'm actually changing people's lives. I didn't even know that. So, that identification is very required. So, and that you cannot do that at one point. It will eventually change. It will probably go forward,
Absolutely.
change as you go forward.
Correct. And that is why the purpose does not remains the same. So, your purpose keep on changing through the journey of your
Absolutely.
life. What exactly was your purpose at the formative days, maybe as a young student, is never the same when you become a professional. And when exactly you
Correct.
have your purposes, and at the same time, there are so many, information coming around, so many incidences happening in your life, and you always get somehow influenced by them, and it is
That's what I
always
was coming.
exactly.
That's, that's exactly where I was coming to. So here's the thing. What happens is when you're passionate about something. So let me put it this way. When I was working in Infosys Technologies, I had I liked doing marketing. I was great at what I was doing, which is why I got the award from Narayan Murthy. That's fine. But there was quite a number of times where social media. I was going back to social media to check kya ho raha, what's happening there. Yeah, that's because and now for quite on the other hand, when I get into a training session, I put my phone on silent, put it upside down, silent, mind it, not on a vibration mode. Silent, put it upside down. Whoever calls, whatever happens, world go to hell. When I'm training, I don't want that to distract me. That's the change that happened. You know, that's where I realized that when you really are doing something out of passion, you will, like Sanjit said, like Praveen was mentioning, it will force you not to look at your social media. You will not have to work at it. It will automatically make sure that you forget your social media because you are loving it so much. When you go on a holiday, when you go on a holiday, what you do is you take photographs. Do you instantly post? Rarely, because you are enjoying it. What will you do the moment you come back from your holiday and you're back at the workplace? You think tomorrow I'll have to go back to office and I'll have to cope up with 20 days of backlogs. Then your brain starts getting messed up, and that's when you start posting on social media. So understand this: when you're enjoying something, social media doesn't matter. Does that make sense? Back to you, Premanko.
I really agree what you have said, Arnab. In fact, I'm sure like everybody can also connect with these examples. But what I basically would like to understand that when we are trying to always follow some role models, and I'm sure our audiences will be like to taking some, insights from all our speakers. I would come to you, Praveen. So I just want to know from all of you, or of course, I have my certain point of view, which I wanted to say that one thing, good thing you said that you have to identify your what, and then you get your why, and then when you have your why, you know what exactly you should be doing in life, and that is how you come closer to your purpose. But my question is that what exactly one can really do when sometimes we are not even having the vision, our vision is blurred, and as Praveen rightly said, then whenever we come across people and people find that we have everything, but something is missing. So what is that something? We always sometimes end up, searching entire life, but we didn't
So,
find that. We didn't find that. So
so here's the
my
yeah.
question,
So here's the thing.
yeah.
Let me answer that. That is a very simple thing. It's about exploration. Nobody comes is born or nobody comes out of school and says, "Wow, this is how I need to change the world." It cannot happen. It did not happen to George Bush or Washington, or to Netaji Subhash Bose or to Vivekananda. They realized it on the spur of the moment. Vivekananda became Vivekananda on the spur of the moment. Yeah, that's when he realized this is my true calling. Later, when Vivekananda said, I keep going back to this because Vivekananda is somebody I absolutely adore. Sorry for bringing him up, if I may. But here's what he said: if you want to play football, go play football with all your passion, with your mind, with your heart, and with your body. That will get you close to God, right? So that's where you'll have to identify, are you passionate about playing football? Drop everything else, go find a coach.
Fine. So
Back to you, Premankur.
I got your answer. I'm very thankful that you have raised a very good analogy. I just want to quickly come back to Praveen. Praveen, of course, I will listen to what you have to say, but at the same time, as we all know that when we have a true calling, and as Sanjeet also said, that when you are synced with your heart and when you know this is something which you have been always looking for, you never look for your immediate materialistic fulfillment or the time or any other distraction, and you go on that. So, what exactly do you think is important for a general, person to understand that if I really have found a purpose, how to understand I'm really doing justice to it, and I'm really doing really my part to fulfill that purpose? Yes, over to you.
So I would just like to say ki most of us maybe are not following our passions right now. Most of the general populace maybe is into doing certain things which may not be exactly our purpose in life, may not be exactly the why, or may not be exactly what what we would like to do in the larger scheme of things. But that's perfectly fine. We are human beings living in a society, not in isolation. So we all have responsibilities. The youngsters have responsibilities towards their parents. We have responsibilities towards our spouses, kids, so on and so forth. So it's a reality of life that we also need to make money every day to sustain. So
Correct.
I think a lot of patience is required. There cannot be a knee-jerk reaction to anything. We have to be very, very, very patient about this. We have to keep on doing what we are doing to so that the life coasts along. But at the same time, I believe we have to keep on finding out our passion, what our passion is, what our why is, what is the bigger problem in the universe that I can solve, what are the skills that I have that can help me solving that problem. Once if I've understood that, then while pursuing my career, while pursuing my job, I have to start nurturing that passion of mine
Parallelly.
parallelly in my spare time. It requires a lot of dedication, it will require a lot of effort, but if you're really passionate about it, if you have got your why, you will do that. It is like watering a plant. It will take time. It's there is no magic formula. Nobody, you take all the big fellows, Elon Musk, this, that, nobody, everybody needs time. We all need to nurture our passions and no knee-jerk reactions. So I believe that while you're doing what you're doing, please continue doing that. Just because tomorrow you feel unfulfilled.
Ajay.
I know many people who feel unfulfilled in life, and then suddenly they decide, I have liked this. Forex trading is looking good. Maybe I love painting. I can start teaching painting or something like that. And they decide I'll quit job, and they land up in a bigger soup. No, I believe you have to be very patient. You have to be very, very, very sensible about this. Continue doing what you're doing and nurture your passion.
Correct.
About distractions, I would like to answer that. If Premankur, can I talk about the distractions question that was there?
Sure. Please go ahead.
So as Arnab also rightly said, when you're doing something that you love, distractions hardly matter. But again, in today's world, we are bombarded with external stimuli so much that I believe, although you're following your passion, it is absolutely possible that you fall prey to such distractions. Now, for this, I always suggest to my mentees, and this is a tested formula, is that you need to map out your time every day. So there is a time, it is called time blocking. So suppose you're following your passion or you're following your job, you have to be very disciplined. You should have a particular time blocking method wherein this to this time I'm going to do this to this time I'm going to do this to this time I'm going to do this, and that's about it. And then you can have certain amount of time which is your spare time, where anything and everything is allowed for you. That is the time maybe when you can allow yourself to be distracted. I call this as no amount of motivation, inspiration will help you. It is simply time blocking and taking action. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for inspiration. Just every night work out. Tomorrow, this is the time blocking that I'm going to do. This time I'm going to do this. I do that. If you ask me, I make a list of about 6 to 10 things that I want to achieve the next day, which comprise a mix of my passion, my job, my responsibilities towards my kids, towards my wife. And I make a whole list of that towards health. And then I regiment it. I'm disciplined about it. It's not something which is God given. We need to work on it. It's a habit. We need to build that. And there's a spare time where I will watch my Netflix, where I will watch social media, where I can do whatever I want, and I permit myself to be distracted for that amount of time. So I feel distractions are going to be there. We need to time block. We need to allocate time. We need to be very disciplined. We need to have good habits. Habits is what makes everything go. Let me tell you this. If you just look at your life, everything that you're doing out of habits. If you put those habits of time blocking, disciplining, distraction.
Thank you so much, Praveen. I got my answer, and it was really spot on. And I'm sure like the audience have understood. So we are close to the end of the session. I would definitely ask from the audience if they have certain questions. They can definitely ask our speaker. But I can understand. I can summarize. We have to identify the why. We have to understand how exactly we can sync our passion with our, the why, how exactly we can solve the bigger problem of the society or the things around us. And of course, how we can be disciplined about fulfilling that purpose. That is what is very important. So that is what actually comes out, which is really a very good conclusion. But over to the audience. If anybody from the audience want to ask any questions to our speakers, please go ahead. You can ask your questions. You can unmute yourself and you can ask your question if anyone is having any questions for our speakers today. All right. So I understand that everybody agrees with whatever you have said, and I'm sure like that answers their queries. So that is why they're all like, I'm sure agreeing. Their silence is saying that they agrees with whatever you say, and they're all in sync with the entire group. They have already got enriched and enlightened by your thoughts. But at the same time, it remains a question that how exactly one finds his purpose and how early he finds the purpose. That is definitely one should look for. And I'm sure we would be doing this kind of endeavor in our forthcoming webinar to understand the purpose of our life and to definitely engage our audiences with such engaging talks. So thank you so much, all of you, for being with us in this wonderful evening and supporting this cause of passing this positivity and the knowledge to our audience. I would really request to watch this relay telecast and share this video because it will be available to all the viewers who have not been able to join today in my YouTube channel, which will be available tomorrow anytime in the Indian time afternoon, maybe around 2 p.m. So I request all of you to watch that, and all our speakers, maybe they can pass on this information, and the details will be also posted in the LinkedIn, in Facebook and other social media. Thank you so much for being with us. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.